Feature Friday.
The freshest. My God, sounds identical.
You roll my mind.
Woo!
You started a record.
That's fantastic.
Restless heart, sleep alone tonight. Something on my love along the wire. Shading the road, no place to start finally. Right down the line, it's been you and me.
That's when this is when I start thinking, what the hell is technique? Why is it? Why it doesn't matter? Like none of the technicalities matter when you have people like this. This guy is like
That might be on like
hunched, like hunched down in the worst sitting position for singing. His larynx are doing something incredible, right? So they're so lifted and they're so clear. And I know that the sound quality of the video doesn't actually
do it justice. Yeah.
do him justice, and like the extent of difficulty for this specific song, especially sounding so alike to the original track.
Brian, is it?
What?
Who's it? Brian?
Journey.
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 Journey. Yeah.
If it's not, then it's Steve Perry for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the similarity. It's already a huge factor to it. But these are the moments that make me question everything I know about singing, because technique here is like non-existent. He's made his own techniques.
Adaptations.
Yeah, he's understood what works for him, and basically this is it. But
Yeah, the question is always when it comes to good technique, it's like I guess you want to try and approach it. It's the same in sports to some extent.
this is safe though.
Yeah, that's where I'm leaning towards. You don't want to make uniform. You want to make you want to create unique, not uniform. You don't want everyone to be the same, especially in sports and arts, because it is an individual.
Individuality.
Yeah, and so I guess the only line where there should be a line drawn would be safety and longevity. As long as this proves to be the case, why not?
This is excellent. Technique. I don't think there is.
Maybe not the greatest posture, but certainly vocal
But
techniques.
vocally speaking, this is very long lasting. The way that he's singing, it's actually pretty spot on for vocal health. Of course, you have to add to that, eating and drinking habits and whether you smoke or not. But the longevity of that might be reduced. But from the sound standpoint, that's a very healthy larynx. That's very healthy and very long lasting. Actually, I would bet a lot of money on that voice. It is actually insane.
Yeah, this type of I've discovered in different music industries, not just the Philippines, but different music industries. One of them being the Philippines is one of the things that has changed is my approach to how singing should be taught.
I agree.
And the best approach to even learning singing, even if you don't go through coaching or academia, the best way to learn how to sing is to sing and emulate, and that's it.
Yes, and that's it.
There's literally
There's no magic trick to it.
there are benefits to the book, to academia, but certainly to sing you don't need it.
Yeah, this is definitely not a limited.
Compulsory.
Yeah, it's not a. Yeah.
It doesn't limit you.
No, definitely not. That's so easy for him.
So then with the school, they would hook in that.
It's rather impressive.
Siya sa abanico.
Pag-ibig ko't maapaw, damdamin ko'y umihiyaw.
That's impressive.
That is absolutely insane.
We're talking about
Incredible.
Ogi's showcase such
Oh, yeah.
technique previously in what is it?
Nandito Ako live, yeah.
Yeah, he's he's probably one of the best male examples of that, especially on that performance.
Well, but if you have already set an example like that, that's popularized, right? That style of singing was super popular, from what you guys have told me in the Philippines, like in the late 90s, early 2000s, for male singers to be so controlled and have such delicate modulation. It became very popularized form of singing. So you already set a really high bar. So anyone else that tried to emulate or copy or cover these songs in their own time thereafter had to adhere to this type of modulation, had to like come close to the softness and the control. And I suppose that's why people in the Philippines have such high standards even for themselves as
Yeah, for their
mere
own artist
yeah.
and yeah, it's true.
Because they understand that in order to sound that good, you have to somehow come close to what they're doing, or the singers that they admire are doing. So I don't know, that helps them learn technique. That helps them understand that there's more to do than just shouting.
Yeah,
As
I always say, do share your thoughts, because this is more like I guess us brainstorming, because it's
open thoughts.
And even though now it is, I guess we're on a different stage because we have had the awesome chance to speak to some of the artists that have made these classics and stuff like that. So that does clear up a few questions, but I think through singing you can truly know like the Philippines as a culture and as people. However, it's very hard to nail everything on, by our predictions. But do let us know if that's correct, because I also do feel, and I think that's where the sense of appreciation and respects come from, when, a singer does a cover of a classic, even if they're from the Philippines, because their expectation, it's ginormous.
Yeah, it's pretty high.
Not only because you are a pro singer and you make money from this, you are with a label, whatever, you make a cover, but also because everyone else covers these as a nation.
That's right.
In the pub, in the karaoke bar, in this, and it's like I've probably seen a pretty good cover of this just walking around.
That's right.
And then it puts into perspective what someone like Morissette has been able to do. Someone like KZ, someone like Eric Santos, Jason D, all these guys, Daryl Bugoy, Kel. Like, it puts it into perspective because it seems it's not that uncommon. So they're the uncommon amongst the uncommon.
Yeah, they're the highest. That 1%.
Yep.
But the pedigree is already.
Oh, it's insane.
Oh God, it's huge.
Scary.
I love watching these videos. They're so thought provoking to me.
Set it to perspective. Some people love that song.
You know what's funny though? You know how the other girl stuck her tongue out and she couldn't reach the note? Actually, there's a vocal exercise that to help you lift the soft palate. Naturally, you stick your tongue out without sticking your neck out, and helps you lift the back of your soft palate. It's really fun. She actually kind of thinks she's there. That's what I mean. How do these guys they don't know?
Maybe they have music classes there though. But even in music classes, I've never seen. I went to school in London.
Nobody goes in depth into it has to be like this, that.
I went to school in London where music in the school curriculum is a big deal. It's a ginormous deal, and they have a lot of good funding here as well for music. But yeah, I've never seen anyone talk about vocal modulation.
Oh no!
In high school, secondary school here in the UK, or high, which I think that's what they're at.
Yeah, I don't think it's often talked about.
Yeah.
It's not necessary because there's really no textbook like there is for music. There's like music theory, and there is the circle of fifths and everything that comes with it, and all, you know, all the scales and how you work it, and there's like a set way of teaching
Actually,
it.
screenshot the circle of fifths yesterday.
So there's like a set way of teaching these things. There's no variables, right? So the foundations are the same in music, but for singing they're not.
Yeah.
For singing, there's not a genius mastermind that has put everything into one book and this is the law of singing. It is not like that, right? So
And I don't think that would be beneficial.
and I don't think that's the way to approach it either. Actually, I believe that you have to be very flexible in order to learn from different techniques and different approaches and different people from different parts of the world, because that allows you to understand what you're capable of by yourself. And it's a very individualistic journey, and I think that's a problem with singing, right? So that's what I mean. I don't think that that's taught.
Well, certainly singing, it's the best example of an art form that's purely abstract.
Absolutely.
That's the best concept of an abstract art form I can think of.
I agree. Crazy though.
Singing, yeah.
Ikaw na lang. My God! That
Oh,
was
give me the whole
absolutely
thing, dog.
Beautiful. Beautiful. You know how hard it is to sing in that vocal setting? It is so pulled back. The modulation is just so elite. And you know how he maintained certain notes that were really held, really lifted, so supported from underneath the diaphragm. So there is a little bit of tension going through the abdominal wall, which is advised against. But this is what I mean. This is all my knowledge, and singing kind of like goes woof out the window because you see it done in a completely different way here, and it is so excellent and it's so exquisite.
Precarious environment,
Yes.
terrible microphone,
Yes.
bad audio,
Uh-huh.
no warm up. He probably was just fucking sweating playing football or something. You know, I don't know. It was just chilling, or maybe, you know, it's
So
insane.
just do this. Yeah, sing Regine Velasquez as you do. Like, you know,
That's
it's
I forget the name of it. Yeah,
we watched
we literally
it.
watch it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
my
we
favorite
watched it, like,
Regine Velasquez
it
song,
is.
I think.
And I like the non-highest version. I like the version that we watched because there is a highest,
higher version, yeah.
like highest
I
so
think-
something like that.
Probably a good moment to emphasize that. And I've said this before. I'm actually not the biggest fan of power vocals. That's not my go-to. And my favorite voices from the Philippines, like obviously I think everyone's favorites, like Regine, you know, Jaya, different types of power vocals, right, in their own right. But my favorite songs that they have are the ones where they, because I know they can belt, like, fine.
We know you can do runs, like it's okay.
But I like these pieces where,
They're
perhaps
delicate and pulled back, and they have texture and layers, and it's about
Colours.
it's about the storytelling, even if it's in a foreign language, and I'm learning through it, and it's an awakening of wonder, and
those are my favorite
yeah,
pieces.
I find they're magical.
And I think those are yours too.
Yeah.
Even though you probably lean a bit more towards belt,
Well, because
because
it's always impressive. The
Yeah.
way they do them is always impressive.
But-
But
anyways, let us know. Certainly very thought-provoking and lovely conversation. I hope our list is enjoyable for everyone. We always do converse whether we should do these videos because, you know, they do get requested very often. But I just hope that, you know, it does turn into something for some of these guys because they certainly deserve all the attention.
so much talent.
So that they get and even more. So yeah, let us know what you thought about it, and if you do find any of these guys online, do drop them in the comment section below because I'd love to check them out, and also I'm sure other people will as well.
That's right. Stay
Goodbye.
fresh, people.